Oh, just why? 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 I shout out Lisa Leslie. Like S tier human being. Just no. Just no. This does not help. This does not help. I mean this. Like this narrative does not help. Why? Because nobody watches the Aces play basketball. And is that a bad thing? Maybe. I don't enjoy watching the Aces play. There are WNBA teams I like watching, by the way. There are a lot of WNBA teams I like watching play basketball. I fucking love watching the Seattle Storm. I enjoy watching the Storm to an extent. Like I like watching the Fire, even though what they do is fucking mental all the time. To an extent, the Sky can be fun. The Fever aren't that fun. I'll give them that. The Ace might be as fun as watching the Fever. But like nobody watches this team play basketball, and you've got Lisa Leslie coming out with this, and it's like there's just no point. There's just no point because saying this just brings out the obvious conversations of like face of the league isn't the best player. Like obviously there's one like there's one player that draws in more. Like I mean this when I say this. Like if let's just say there's 15 WNBA teams and there's 7 games on a night, whoever's last place is gone, and every team played at the same time. Caitlin Clark's game would draw more viewers than every single team combined, even if Caitlin Clark's game, if they were all, let's say they were on the same network, and there was like a thing where you click on the network and you can choose your game, there would be more people watching the Caitlin Clark game than every other game combined. Let's be very clear on that.
Oh, Lisa, you expect Asia to do Asia thing?
Well, Asia, I feel like I didn't edify her enough of what she's capable of.
Edify.
Asia has scored
Nice
69% of the Aces points in the paint. And I'm talking about over the last 5 years, people. This woman in the paint gets it done. And it's a plethora of moves. The left hand, over the shoulder.
Asia's unbelievable. The only flaw Asia has is her shot selection is sometimes... I'm not even going to say it's a flaw because she's such a good mid-range shooter. It's that she's just better. She's better going downhill left than she is shooting from the mid-range, and she sometimes settles for middies. Like, that is the only flaw I can find with Asia's game, is that she sometimes settles for middies. And when she's hitting them, it's great. But, like, if you look at any one of Asia's bad games, and because there is bad games, like she had a 6 for 22 game against Indiana a few years ago. She had, I think it was a 7 for 24 game against Chicago. Like she can at times just start spamming those middies, and if they're not going in, some of those turnarounds sometimes aren't going in. It can be a struggle. Obviously, the thing is you have to respect them, so it helps your drive up. But yeah, like she sometimes chooses not to go to the left-hand drive, which she does better than any other player in the league. Like we are looking at the best player in the league who is getting better because she's now like a 40% 3-point shooter consistently. It's fucking nuts. But yeah, we're still having this bullshit conversation though, face of the league, and like nothing Lisa Leslie's saying is wrong here.
You know she can go right, but you know it's coming with the step back. The jumpers are on point, whether it's the mid-range or get into the paint. I just love that she has always continued to broaden her game when we look at her career over the extent that she's been in the WNBA. So not just the MVP on offense, but also defense, improving in shot blocking, rebounding.
I stand by this. A'ja Wilson's defense is vastly overrated. She guards the worst player on the other team and just plays help side. Like if you like Ezzy Magbagor, there are about 5 or 6 players that if they could guard the worst player on the other team and just stand under the basket, they would be doing an insane job. But she's not very good. I'm not saying she's not a very good defender. She is, but like she's not this undoubtedly best defender in the world.
Not quite. We need one more rebound, Asia, because you're the only other one that needs to have a double-double, but she's at 9.2, so season's not over yet. But Asia's just been completely outstanding. She deserves all of the glory that she gets, the commercials, all of the things. This is the face of the WNBA.
What? Just there's no reason. There is absolutely no reason. To end the thing being like this is the face, especially with look who you're standing beside. look who you're standing beside. And I like Lisa Leslie. I like Lisa Leslie. I think Lisa Leslie's incredible as far as like promoting everybody. But it's one of those things now where we are looking at we're looking at this bullshit conversation because is Caitlin Clark the best player in the league? No. Has she got to AJ Wilson's level? No. Is she the face of the league? No fucking shit. No shit. Unfortunately, the TV networks can't choose the face of the league because they tried and they failed, and then realized they tried, they failed, and then they realized that oh shit, we can't really force popularity or force no popularity for a certain player. So now we're just gonna put every Fever game on national TV. We tried in our rookie year to use her to push other people, and the league did that, by the way. The league's marketing team came out and said that, by the way. Someone on the league's marketing said it. The WNBA did not believe Caitlin Clark was going to be good. They made that very clear. They did not believe that Caitlin Clark was going to be a good player. So they wanted to use Caitlin Clark's fandom to come in. She was going to get dicked on as a rookie, and then maybe people would stay to watch other teams. That was their entire plan. That was their entire plan that the WNBA had. But it's actually there's no point in having this conversation because all it does is it has the point of it's like coming out and saying, I don't know. I'm trying to think of who has been clearly a best player. Who has been clearly arguably the best player in in the league was clearly not the face. Tim Duncan has never been the face of the NBA. And I think early 2000s, especially when Shaq was the better player than Kobe. Kobe was from everything, again, I'm young, I've looked back on everything. The two faces of the NBA in the early 2000s, or I'll even maybe say three faces, were Iverson and Kobe Bryant. Maybe Vince Carter. Vince Carter is in with a shout for that. But it was probably Iverson and Kobe Bryant were the two faces of the NBA. They were not the two best players. But it's imagine, Duncan's the best player in the world. Imagine coming out and saying, complaining if people said Iverson's the face of the NBA or Kobe's the face of the NBA because Duncan was the best player in the world. Or I'm going to be honest. There's been no stage where Jokic is the face of the NBA because he doesn't give a shit. People aren't going out of their way to watch Nikola Jokic play basketball. No offense to Jokic, people aren't going out of their way. Just people, when the Celtics were winning, people weren't going out of their way to watch Jason Tatum play basketball. I don't know who the face of the NBA is, was then. It's clearly Wemby now. But in 2023, 2024, it was clearly still Steph Curry, LeBron. More people cared about that, about the playoff series between Steph and LeBron in 2023, and they cared about the finals. So I hate having to have this conversation. Why did you have to throw in that throwaway line, Lisa? Because everything else, I don't disagree with a single word you said other than that. This is unstable league. I have no clue how they fix it either. Period. Of course, they're going to crash out with Lisa Leslie's statement. It's just an objectively wrong statement. It's you've got everyone trying to be oh, this is the face. Unfortunately, the best player is always the face. And people are oh, she's like Duncan. She's boring. No, this is what AJ Wilson is. And this is a compliment. Anyone who thinks this is not a compliment doesn't get basketball. Could you imagine if Joel Embiid was an Iron Man? If Joel Embiid played 82 games a year for his career and also didn't shrink in the playoffs. A Joel Embiid who didn't shrink in the playoffs and played 82 games in his career every year. That might be the greatest player of all time. Joel Embiid was had a month period, before Joel Embiid went down in 2024, he was having arguably the greatest regular season of all time. And we got to be very clear. We got to be very, very clear. Like, that is what I think she is. But Joel Embiid, even at his peak, was never the face of the NBA. Because it wasn't an exciting brand of basketball watch. It was incredibly effective. Age is exceptional. But, like, why do we keep pushing this? No one gives a shit. No offense, like, more people watch the Lynx than watched A'ja Wilson in the final. Come on.